Hey guys, this is Skyforce95 here reviewing a duffel bag by Under Armour. This is the undeniable 3.0 model. So 3.0 just means it's the third generation of this particular bag. And the one I have here is the small size. It has other sizes ranging from extra small up to extra large. And it comes in a wide variety of colors that Under Armour is well known for. So if you guys are interested, just check out the link in the description. Now, unfortunately, there isn't a really great sizing chart to compare between all the different sizes. So originally I did buy the medium thinking that that's probably the most common size to get, not too small, not too big, but unfortunately these actually run pretty large. So you can just see with a quick size comparison here, the medium size versus the small size, which I later bought. I found that the small size is probably the most adequate for most people's needs. The small size was able to fit in a half-size locker no problem, which I think is most common in a lot of gyms. And then anything bigger than that, you probably have to really squeeze or not overstuff your bag. So I really do recommend just checking out the small size first before deciding to go for a bigger size. So now I'm going to give you a tour of this bag and see what it holds and what I usually carry in this bag. So first let's talk about the material. This is featuring Under Armour Storm technology, so it is pretty water resistant, so you don't have to worry about it. Your stuff getting wet in a downpour or anything like that. And it also has a whole bunch of ways to carry this thing. So you have the traditional two handles that you can also velcro together to have an easier, more comfortable padded hold. And then of course there is the shoulder strap that's again padded and adjustable, and you also have the nice big Under Armour logo, and I think it depends on the color, but on this one it is silver and unfortunately it's not reflective for whatever reason, but it's very clearly Under Armour label, so if you really care about branding, well, it's there. And also kind of little subtle touches along all of the handles. It has like Armour or Under Armour all over it. And there's actually an additional side little handle, so this might be useful if you needed to pull it out of a locker, for instance. Then for a little bit more protection on the bottom, it's a different kind of material. It's kind of a slippery polyester material so that it can prevent the fabric from ripping ideally. And there's also a little bit of reinforcement around the edges of this thing, but other than that there's no additional padding. So the material is pretty thin, but if from my experience, Under Armour material is pretty durable, so I wouldn't really worry about that too much. So moving on with the rest of the tour, I usually hang my combo lock right here on the outside, so it's a really nice easy access. And there's a little bit of just sectioned off places in an additional strapping area, so you can hook multiple items if you wanted to here. And then the zipper found at the top gives you access to the main compartment of this bag, and this is where I keep most of my stuff that I don't use too frequently. So things like my buoy, because I'm a swimmer, and also a little mini beach ball because again I'm a swimmer, and of course a nice kickboard which actually amazingly fit. This is a standard team kickboard, and I'm glad that it was able to fit, albeit a little bit diagonally, but still good. And of course I got my towel in here, and then a couple of my other more water goodies like extra goggles and other stuff. Within the main compartment there is another hanging tiny compartment that is zippered, and this is where I keep my emergency toiletries. It's relatively thin, so nothing too much to stuff in there. Moving on to the outside compartments, the first up is this front one. It's relatively narrow compartment, so I put things that are more flat like clothing or extra swimsuits right there. Just because of the location of the handle, it's sometimes a little bit difficult to zip it up. I wish that they had placed the handle in a better, more strategic area, but it's not a huge deal as long as you just keep the strap up when you're zipping and unzipping. And then to the left of that, I keep my shoes. This is the dedicated shoe compartment because it has a venting area. And because this is a small size, you can't really fit two large shoes. But thank God I am a small person and I'm actually even able to fit my basketball shoes in here. But I can definitely not guarantee that for anybody else who's bigger because it is a pretty tight pocket. But I think if you put like a pair of flip-flops, you should be fine. I really like that there's a little mesh at the top that helps ventilate, so to make sure that any moisture in there has a room to escape, though I would have liked that window to be a little bit bigger even halfway through just for better ventilation purposes. Also keep in mind that the pocket goes inwards, so it's going to take up more space in the large compartment if you put a bigger pair of shoes in there. On the flip side, you have two compartments. One is just a simple strap of mesh. This is where I put my most needed to be ventilated stuff. For instance, my goggles and also my swim cap. And then the zippered compartment behind that is just a simple, again, pretty narrow compartment. So here I just put my showering stuff like my shampoo and other travel size toiletries. I did try to test out if this would be a good pocket to have a 16-ounce Swell water bottle, so it does fit kind of diagonal, and I also tried it in the front compartment, so that's also okay. But any larger water bottles, you probably have to just carry it on you or just put it in the main compartment if you're not worried about spillage. So after using this as my daily gym bag for the past month or so, I really did like the design of this. There are some little quirks that, as I mentioned in the video, that I could like for maybe the 4.0 version of this bag, but for the money, I think it's a really great buy. You can get the small version for around $30 on Amazon. As usual, I'll put the link in the description. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a like. It'd be greatly appreciated. And make sure to subscribe to my channel, Skyforce95, if you haven't already, to get more content like this. Or if you're watching this on Amazon, head over to my channel URL right here, or just search it up on YouTube, Skyforce95. There you'll see a bunch of my product reviews and unboxings. Feel free to browse, or if you want to search for something specific, just hit that search field. That'll do it for this video. This is Skyforce95. Thanks for watching.